Hi guys, this is Hiro. How's everyone doing today? So today I'm going over Jupiter's transit or retrograde transit in the sign of Aries. Okay, so this occurs from like September 4th to December 31st, something along those lines of this year of 2023. Now, we know Jupiter represents the consciousness, right? It's the guru. So this video is not going to be too long. The consciousness, when it goes retrograde, what this means, just in a very quick general sense, is that things can come to you very suddenly, okay? Wisdom, things like that. Now, that's great, right? Because it's an Aries, it's a fire sign, it's a friendly sign. Uh, Overall, it's pretty good, right? And Aries it's a natural first sign. So it has a lot to do with yourself. So consciousness ideas, things that you may have overlooked, or kind of just brushed to the side, because we all have a very big habit of suppressing things and resisting things. These things will kind of come to you a little bit back or easier. Okay, so when things do come to you suddenly, you can take a moment to just think on it. And luckily, Jupiter's transit is very slow. So when it goes backwards, it's also slow. That's fine, because when ideas come to you or wisdom comes to you, you want to have some time to process it, which is okay, which is good. Now, one thing is that Saturn also does aspect this retrograde Jupiter. Okay, it's in Aquarius, and so Saturn's influence will basically kind of make sure that you kind of do something possibly about the conscious ideas that you do get, which is good. This is like almost exactly what you want, okay? This is why, for those of you guys who have finished like a Rahu Mahadasha, when Jupiter Mahadasha starts, your life doesn't really start changing until your Saturn Antardasha starts, okay? It starts changing a little bit during Jupiter Antardasha, but when Saturn Antardasha starts, it's like, that's when you feel like, okay, I'm like kind of out of Rahu. I've talked about this in my Jupiter and Rahu Mahadasha videos more. But this is kind of playing into that relationship that Jupiter and Saturn have in the sense that Jupiter is kind of under the influence of Saturn here, which is kind of ideal because you want the consciousness to be affected. It's not under the influence, excuse me. It's being heavily guided by Saturn, which is good. So, or you can even say the other way around. Saturn is being highly guided by Jupiter. But okay, so you have Jupiter in Aries and Saturn in Aquarius. Now Saturn's also in its own main sign, very strong, okay? So Jupiter being the consciousness, when ideas come to you and things like that, you could feel, okay, wisdom comes to you suddenly, but Saturn is going to make you kind of act on that, okay? So this is overall pretty good because we could all have ideas, we could all have things we want to do, we want to meditate, we want to do this, we want to do that, we have all this stuff, I need, even not only externally but internally, I need to think like this, I need to think like that, whatever. That's all great, but if we never get around to actually doing anything about it, if we don't externally do whatever we need to do, internally we don't accept whatever we need to accept, fears, expectations not coming true, whatever, I mean, at the end of the day, yeah, it's nice, but what actually got done, right? What karma actually got fulfilled? So this is what Saturn's going to kind of help the Jupiter here, okay? The Jupiter, it's saying, hey, look, there's some stuff that we missed, or there's some stuff that we need to acknowledge during this retrograde. That's fine. Saturn's going to say, hey, let me give you like a little ideas on how we can make those ideas more, on that consciousness, that wisdom that you're giving us, how we can make that more fruitful, okay? So this has a very good chance this fall of just making sure that there's a very high level chance of spiritual inclination here, okay, or spiritual elevation, which is not an opportunity that you want to just let slip by, ideally, if you can help it, okay? So make sure that always your habits, everything like that, they help mold your consciousness. So just make sure that during this time period, again, the more you want to take advantage of this, this is not something that happens too often. These transits the last year or two have been much, much stronger than usual. So I'd strongly encourage you, if this is something that interests you, I guess, like spiritual elevation just in general, this is a great way to strengthen your foundation, okay? So that's it for this video. If you have any questions or comments, you can feel free to let me know. And until next time, I'll talk to everyone later. Thank you all very, very much for watching.